Good day. So today we're doing our penultimate feature of the month of March in celebration of phenomenal women. We are interviewing today Nthabeleng Mogale, and she's going to be telling us about all the exciting things that she's doing in the space that she's in and her interaction with intellectual property, because ultimately we want to promote IP awareness and also to promote the creatives and innovators behind it, and to promote as well all the different IPs out there, so you get to learn what it is that they do, the kinds of laws that protect the innovations of these women, and yeah, just how their journey has been so far with IP and so forth. So Nthabeleng, welcome and thank you for taking time off to chat to us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. So Nthabeleng, can you please just tell us more about yourself and what you do, and the kind of stuff that has put you in the limelight in terms of IP? Yeah.
Okay, about myself, I'm Nthabeleng Mogale. I'm a mother of 4. The 2 being a good package of twins. So my last ones are twins, married to Tate Mogale. I'm a pastor. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I'm a managing director of Kingdom Mind Creations. Kingdom Mind Creations is a mother to a brand which is one of the fastest growing Christian brands in South Africa, called Blessed Beyond Measure, that keeps on growing globally. And that is our pride. That is what has put us in the map. It's called Blessed Beyond Measure clothing brand. So it caters for little kids, adults, almost everyone who is all about affirmation. So we found ourselves in the space whereby we had to protect the brand. So that's what put us in the space of IP, Blessed Beyond Measure, because it's a beautiful, beautiful affirmation that obviously everyone feels they've got the right to it. So we had to come through and say we need help. We need to trademark our clothing brand. So that's what we do.
Okay, that's very interesting because when we speak about IP, not a lot of people are aware that there's IP in fashion. Like, for instance, the design of the clothes, not just the trademark as well, which is important because that helps people to identify your brand, but in the design of the clothing itself, the shoes and so forth. So how did you come across, the fact that, okay, there's value in this. If I need to protect my brand, I need to get an IP lawyer, I need to get protection and register a trademark.
Yeah, it's about being in the streets out there, and then having to, when you're starting something like a brand, you also seek knowledge about, okay, the first thing that you're doing is, now that I have a brand, what's next? What do I do? Do I just sit back and say, okay, this is my brand? That part of ownership, saying this is my brand, it was like, okay, it's your brand. What do you have to show for it that it is your brand, So with the researches that I made, and then I bumped into knowing that you can actually register your brand so that it can be trademarked, and then at the end you can trade with it. At the end it ends up being registered, So having to seek knowledge around that, I found I registered online the trademark, but it was the online streets, but I had a lot of challenges. I kept on checking. A year later, there was no communication around that, and all your paid monies and stuff. By the grace of God, I bumped into the Tshaya Attorneys. You know what? It was just a beautiful journey with them, because now I felt like, oh wow, this is a special attention that I'm getting. So all those challenges that I had, they were gone, because they managed to take me by the hand, They managed to take me by the hand, and then they worked on my trademark. Even when things did not go well with the first online trademarking, they managed to handle everything. So it gave me peace of mind, and I felt safe.
That's excellent. So I just want to find out from you, like, how's your journey been so far in terms of IP? So you met with Tshaya Mashabela Attorneys, and they helped you with filing your trademark, where before you had struggled when you tried to do it by yourself. Are you discovering other things over and above like trademarks that has getting an IP lawyer opened your door to possibilities of other IP forms that you had that you never thought about registering, for instance?
Oh, most definitely, because in the journey with them, one had to learn a lot. One had to learn a lot because you get to be relaxed. You think it's done. But in the journey of IP, you realize that there is so much, and then at the same time, you become you have acquired the knowledge from them in the process, because there's a lot of communication that takes place.
Yeah.
That we need this and then we need that, and then we have to register according to the mark, the way your mark is, and everything. So along the way, you realize that I always check with them. Okay, fine, we need to I now want to include this, and then we go like, yeah, let us search. Let us look what if it's still if somebody has registered for it. Let's see what can be done. Whenever I have an idea, I always go through them. But I realized that most of the knowledge I learned from them, and I got to transmit the knowledge that I got from them, So I'm always inspired to tell somebody, when you're talking anything, I always check with them, have you trademarked that? So yes, definitely, it opened doors and opportunities in our horizons that, no, this is the way to go. Let's do this.
Okay. And this is a question that I like asking because it highlights the importance of having someone who knows about IP to walk with you through the journey, like you said, of registration and actually enforcing your rights, in the instance where someone infringes your right. I wanted to find out from you, were there any pitfalls that you avoided simply because you were smart enough to get yourself an IP lawyer?
Yes, yes, there were, especially with peace of mind. Like I said, I keep on saying peace of mind because they're like your rear guard, like your shield.
Mm-hmm.
When you see there were counterfeits actually, but you get to run to them like a baby.
Yeah.
Like I've seen something online, you always request something like this, and they act immediately. To say, no, not with our clients. This is what we have in place, So they had really helped me. And also for people who are your clients, it makes them to feel safe. Even when something is, we know counterfeits are out there, but when they know that you have the full rights, you immediately get value on that knowledge. So they have truly helped me in terms of having to let people know that when you see something like this, you just know that it's not our brand. Our brand is like this. It's a counterfeit. So you find yourself being among the big brands that have been counterfeited, but at the same time, there's a place where you run to and they immediately write letters and attend to it. So they've been so grateful. Okay. So helpful.
I'm going to come back to the counterfeit story because, normally when we think counterfeits, we think about your Louis Vuittons and, your Louboutins that get counterfeited. But it's not just those big brands. A lot of designers, have gone through that as well. Local designers, I know of a few who have just been scrolling through the internet and all of a sudden they see a dress but it's not their designs. Can you just tell us how that process worked for you, from identifying that counterfeit to actually getting that person to stop? Can you just take us through that process?
Okay, it was one of those most painful painful realization, because it was a client, and then the client realizes that, oopsie, we can see that something is not right here. We can tell the fabric, the quality is not the same, but then the marks they use what we normally know that the brand they would use. So in realizing that, I was disturbed. It's not a nice thing, especially when you know that this is your vision, this is your idea. So you always think of that meeting that they had. people stealing your vision and then making it to be all over the country, So the aim is to get the main person, and then we send the messenger of court to give them that letter of demand. So it's still a process, but the nice thing is knowing that you have made you have made your clients aware, and your clients also stand up for you. They also make a noise about the counterfeits. So the process is all about getting the main supplier, getting the main supplier so that they can stop. And also with customs it comes on board as well. When you know that you have trademarked, they also they teach their people to identify the customs the stuff, how to identify the counterfeits. But obviously it's a process, but you have rights, what to do,
Yeah.
It's a process, especially to get to the core of who is the queen or the king. So yeah.
What always fascinates me is how like brand loyal your customers are. Like as soon as they see that there's something wrong, like, no, this is not Nthabeleng's brand, they'll be like, this is wrong. And it all starts with them having that ability to identify your brand. So your first step of like saying, I want to register a trademark, because that's how people will actually say, oh, this is Nthabeleng's product. I can identify it because of this. And yeah, it just amazes me, like the type of customer loyalty that you get. And I see that you're already rocking your own brand. Why not?
The bling bling.
So please tell us what you have planned for the future, while not giving away any like trade secrets or anything that would make you fight with your attorneys, because I know that Tshaya Mashabela will give me a call if you expose any secrets.
No, we have great plans, especially in the year 2021. We are branching into different provinces. We believe that, of course, we are online, but it's also beautiful for people, the mortal stores, people to come, touch and feel what we have. Our main store it's like our hub is in Emelo, and then we are collaborating in Pretoria, Hatfield. So we are planning to before May we'll be in Joburg and checking other provinces as well. So we're planning to grow the brand beyond and introducing new products as well that we are so excited about. And we are looking forward to trademarking our own car, because that's one of those beautiful dreams that I have, that we will have a BBM car, like your mobile car. So God is good. Nothing is too big for him,
Oh, wow, actually, that's amazing, because, my next question was in relation to your future plans. Which kind of classes did you file protection for your trademark in? Because, trademarks are class specific. And that's one thing that people need to be cognizant of, because you can file BBM clothing, and then someone could file in under motor vehicles for BBM cars, and they'd have
so true.
So how are you mitigating that?
Yes, no, that is so true. With the patent attorneys on board, you get to learn a lot. You get to learn a lot. Also with issues of territorial registration, because you have to also do accounting. That is knowledge, that you acquire and you have to work on. The aim is to really maximize in terms of the classes. It's that. So my next one should be a car. We're definitely going for the BBM car.
Oh yes, I hope that it works out. I know it will. I mean, with your enthusiasm and your enterprising skills, I'm pretty sure that you will. And then, Nthabeleng, can you please just give advice to entrepreneurs out there in terms of protecting their brand, maximizing their brand identity, and so forth? What would you have to advise them, and especially seeking advice from an attorney?
Yes. Number one, very crucial advice. I realize that we don't want to pay, and what you're not paying for actually works out more expensive and very frustrating, because it will frustrate you. So be willing to protect your brand, be willing to pay, be willing to go to a private attorney, if I have to be clear, one time there was an illustration that if you want to take out your teeth from the provincial, you can still do that, from the government, they'll give you that, but the service from the private ones, it's very different. So always seek for a patent attorney that will hold you by the hand, not that you will queue on the phone still looking for, am I registered as it? But you have somebody who will take time, be your mentor in this industry, and feeling responsible and feeling safe, like I said.
I know Tshaya Mashabela takes pride in actually holding the client by the hand and actually walking
literally
the process. Yeah.
Literally so. So when a person has something, I always check, have you trademarked? It is important, it is imperative, because it is so painful. I always give an example with the iPhone in China and the USA, that their rights were taken without even realizing. You realize later that you don't have a case. Another one is of Bafana Bafana. When they were using the name Bafana Bafana, it was somebody's money in the pocket. They went to register that name. You know what I mean? So it is important to protect what you have and go the right route and just pay. It will pay off.
Yeah, well, my mom always tells me something that cheap is expensive.
It is.
Simply because you'll pay a low price, but then how many times are you going to have to buy that same thing or pay to fix it,
Exactly.
So yeah, this has been really great chatting to you, and I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future, and I just hope that it's onwards and upwards from here for you.
Amen. Thank you so much. I receive onwards and upwards.
Thank you, Nthabeleng.
Thank you so much, sis.